Oh, it is an absolutely gorgeous day outside, about 73 degrees, and we're going to be doing this install outside. We have an RS grill to install in here, and we are actually going to have some tunes. You guys would get a copyright strike if I showed you these songs, but we're going to have tunes courtesy of Kove, who are actually sponsoring the video today. So this video is brought to you guys by Kove. They make this awesome speaker called the Commuter. It's a wireless Bluetooth speaker. It has a built-in subwoofer in the bottom. You've probably seen some of your favorite YouTubers promoting the product, and they sent me one. I'm super happy with it, and I'm thankful that they're sponsoring the video. But what's cool about this is the battery lasts about 8 hours, so if you have a day in the garage, chances are you probably won't kill this, and if you do, we figured out that it actually works plugged into the wall as well if you have the charger plugged in. So if you have a longer than 8 hour day, or if you somehow manage to kill the battery on this, you can continue listening to music while it's plugged in. One other thing about the Kove speakers, if you have an SQ5 or an S4 like me and you have the Bang & Olufsen system, you can suffer from the Bang & Olufsen amp failure. And that leaves you without sound in the car. So I had that in my S4 and I was without sound for like a month before I decided to get it fixed because it's fairly expensive. This is a great solution. If you have a Bang & Olufsen sound system, you're worried about it failing, you pick one of these up, you can stick it in the cup holder, and it'll, you know, fill up the car with music if your Bang & Olufsen does fail. Anyway, jokes aside, Kove has decided to hook you guys up as well. You can get 65% off one of these speakers. That makes it under $100 at the link below using the code on the screen. Back to the video. In this box is a new RS grill for the SQ5, because if you guys know, these are honeycomb grills, and this Audi has decided to make horizontal. I don't really know why. We're going to change that today. This actually requires some pretty heavy modifications. This grill is from China, and if you are telling me that you've never bought a car part from China, you're lying. But actually, because of legal reasons, this is the only place that you can still buy an RS Quattro grill, which you'll see as we open it up. Well, I opened the box to find 5. I'm unsure why that's in here, but let's see what else is in the box, I guess. Oh, and here's a Q. Alright, well this is what that was. In case you want to badge the trunk of your car as an RS Q5, they include free badges for that. Alright, here we go. Oh, it came with black rings. I thought it was going to come with silver rings. Well, we'll change that. I think black badges should be a crime, and that nobody should ever do them on their cars. But, yeah, RS Q5, this is going to go. We'll get rid of the plate mount, and we'll take these guys out as well. And we should be in business. I'm excited for this. Well, this plate thing's really easy. All you have to do is undo 3 screws, and then we're gonna have to Dremel this out, but that'll come out later. These parking sensors are held in with hot glue, so just a little bit of heat gun action on this, and this hot glue should come right out. The sensor will come right out, and we shouldn't need any dremeling there. So many hours of dremeling later, actually so many hours that it's the next day. We have all of the holes drilled out. They're not perfect, and I still need to put some paint on them, but I mean, this is the angle that you're gonna be viewing the grill from, and it looks great. Now what we have to do is cut off this bottom piece, because this is unnecessary for my bumper, I think. Actually, I may wait until we get the bumper off to do that. Well, this should be the last time that you guys see this grill on the car. We have the whole top part disconnected here. That's just a bunch of Torx bits, really simple. The bottom, drop the belly pan, which again is a bunch of Torx bits. And then what's weird on the SQ5 that the S4 doesn't have is these silver bolts here. There's 4 of them. There's one there, there. Those are already out. These actually hold the bumper to the car too. Little tip here is if you put the car up on jack stands and then you just hit the start button without putting your foot on the brake, the steering wheel unlocks. You can turn it back and forth. And good news for those of you who came from an S4 into an SQ5, there's no stupid plastic clip here like there is in the S4, so just Torx bits in the fender well. One 10mm that sits up in here, really easy to do compared to what the S4 was, and then all you do is pull right here, and the bumper actually just pops right out. It does require a good amount of force, because this is, I guess, slid in instead of bolted in like the S4. But it comes right out. It's actually fairly simple. So I want to make sure I have everything. I reached in behind here through the fender well and disconnected the fog lights. So the only thing connected should be the front parking sensors. But I'm going to drop the bumper right here. I'm not going anywhere with it. Come on. There we go. We're loose there. I gotta get this fog light. It was hard to reach because there's some sort of cooler over here. Ooh, I just dropped it. Now there's a ton of water in my shoe. Alright, well here's something that the forums don't tell you. On the SQ5, this sensor that I was confused about is actually the front parking sensor. It runs all the way around here, across here and everything. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to move this wire, which I don't think is possible, and move it down so that it's not seen behind the... Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do this. One thing that is important is this silver crash bar is definitely visible, so we're gonna hit that with a coat of black paint. We actually might be in business with this grill. This is mocked up, it's just sitting there. This is not how it goes in, but as you can see, the crash bar is black behind it. Painted that black, didn't mind the edges because those won't be seen anyway. Let me see if I can get this to balance again. A little sketchy, but we actually may be able to run that cord behind this section. We'll see. I might be able to tape it in there, see what happens. But I'm really excited for this. All right, all these guys are undone, which ultimately nets out to this. Now I just gotta disconnect the parking sensor things here and there, and we should be able to remove the whole grill, and that's just a question of figuring out how the heck do we wire the other one. All right, I swapped the silver rings on because, as you remember, these should be a crime. Silver rings belong on the front of a car and on the back too, unless you debadge it. But now I have to cut off this part. I made my first cut here because if you look at this, there are no fins on the bottom of that, and the fins are actually in the bumper. So we're gonna do some trim here and see what happens. This is turning into much more of a task than I expected. Nice big chunk missing there. Obviously we're missing all of this at the bottom. Another chunk missing there, and then I took a piece out of the center as well. Hopefully that's enough. I'm gonna leave the HomeLink system. A lot of people have been chopping that out. I don't mind how it looks, and I don't really want to bother with relocating anything right now. All right, so final results here. I just ended up trimming like basically everything off the bottom of this, which is probably not the way to do it, but oh well. Zip tied this cable down here that you can't really see from the outside. Now it's just a question of put some bolts back in, toss it back on the car, and see how it looks. Oh, well, here she is. See, you can't see the crash bar back there. Tucked in, it matches the fog grills. I'm a happy camper right now. Let's get everything else buttoned up and we'll just get a look outside. HomeLink's all plugged in. Everything else is plugged in. There it is. I'm a fan. I like it. I think it looks nice. Too bad it's such a pain in the butt to install. It actually is really nice. So again, just to kind of summarize all the stuff that we did, I have these little pieces missing here. I carved that one out, that one out, that one, and that one. You can definitely tell. It might be a little hard to see on camera, but like you can tell that there's that notch missing right there if I move in. From like 3 feet away, obviously no difference, and because I painted it, even though we sanded it, it doesn't look awful. As far as the upper plastics go, the only spot you can really notice it is right there. But overall, really happy with how that looks. I'm glad I kept that upper portion because it allowed me to put my parking sensors in there. Again, we tucked the wires for the parking sensors so you can't see it. They're actually tucked underneath this portion. So no visibility of the wires. The crash bar is painted black in there. And like I said, you can't see those corners that I left silver, but it is black in there. I probably should get rid of this little wind deflector thing that deflects air down into the heat exchanger now that the whole grill's open, but whatever. So I'm getting sidetracked here. The things that we cut, we cut basically the whole bottom portion off the grill. The top fits fine. It may be a little bit short here at the top, but not awful. And from 3 feet away, I think it looks really, really good. In past experience with these Quattro grills, this black does like to chip, so I may get in there with a Sharpie eventually and you know, touch up any rock chips that we get. This doesn't look like it quite fits here. It doesn't look like it quite fits here. It does fit on this side, so that's interesting. But is it worth the time? Honestly, probably not. Like, this was a lot of effort for just a front grill, but I love the look of no front plate. And again, like I said, the whole reason that I did this is because the fog grills are honeycomb. Why shouldn't the front grill not be honeycomb? Should you be scared of installing this grill? If you have no experience with a Dremel, probably, but if you have experience with cutting and, you know, custom fab or whatever, this really shouldn't be an issue for you. I am fairly unexperienced with making things fit, and I did probably an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 job on this, so if you have a lot of experience with this, you should have no issues here. Again, a huge thanks to Cove for sponsoring the video. The link is at the top of the description. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was filmed over a lot of days, as you can tell, just kind of you know, getting things to happen. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Go out there and spread some positivity, and I will catch you guys in the next video.